Hello. Oh, hello, mate. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Nice to see you.
I'll derobe real quick.
Nice.
You're going to see that a lot today. A lot of strip teases.
Yes. Nice.
How you guys been?
Good. How are you?
I'm very good.
Okay.
We good?
Yes.
And we're ready.
Yeah. So last time I was here, people joked that as soon as I walked in, you immediately knew I was Irish for some reason. So people have just kept talking about how you're such a perfect Spider-Man because your spider sense was on point.
Right.
So well done. It's been a couple of years since we've been able to do this.
Yes.
I know, yeah.
How's things been for everybody?
It's been an interesting time, isn't it? I mean, we've been very lucky that as far as work has gone, we haven't really been disrupted.
Right.
You know, I know a lot of people around the world have had, you know, real trouble getting back to work or even still getting back to work.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
You know, I shot Uncharted and then Spider-Man back to back throughout the height of COVID. So we were very lucky that the crews that we worked with were so responsible and took the safety protocols very seriously. Because we didn't shut down once, did we? But it seemed like every other film that was being made in the world was shutting down every 2 weeks. So we were very lucky. So it's been an interesting time. You know, I'm really delighted that Spider-Man is one of the first stepping stones back to normality for people.
Yeah.
You know, if people are feeling confident and safe enough to go back to the theatre, you know, I feel like it's our kind of present to the world of, you know, let's get this thing back and let's get it gone, you know?
Yeah, because everyone was kind of worried for a while that it was going to get delayed and pushed to next year. And
Sure.
But I guess the Marvel machine is so big that you kind of have to keep things running all the time.
Absolutely, yeah, because it's one film is not just one film in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
One film is the building blocks for
like
6
8.
films coming, yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is probably the biggest one since Endgame. Because last time we talked about Far From Home, it was talking about like bringing the MCU kind of into the new phase, and everybody was kind of getting ready for everything after Tony Stark. And now this is like the next big thing. I feel like this is gonna like break records and everything. There's a lot of pressure. How do you guys keep from spoiling everything?
How's the
How's it
pressure?
feel? How do we keep from spoiling things?
Yeah.
Well, we have each other. You know, we check in. But you just gotta be on your toes. You gotta really think about what you say before you say it. There was a question someone asked us the other day, and it was tricky.
Yeah, it was tricky.
I had to think about it for a second.
Because
I
I
was like,
kind of
wait a
did one of
minute.
these, I was like, don't say it.
Yeah.
You didn't.
But I didn't. We want people to be as surprised or as excited when they first see it. But I mean, there's so much people already know. I mean, especially with all the villains. I mean, that alone, I still can't believe that happened.
I know.
Hello, Peter.
But I think just knowing that they're in it isn't enough.
Right.
You know, because
People want to see it.
yeah, because there's one thing knowing someone's in a film, but then seeing them interact with characters that you already know.
Or
Right.
never thought they would ever interact.
Yeah, exactly. Like the first time you see Doc Ock and myself together, it's really quite a funny scene between the two of us, and then goes into this really epic action sequence, and it's just really interesting and it's really exciting. And as a fan of every trilogy, it's really quite rewarding to see it on the big screen.
Yeah, because you guys, even when you got Spider-Man for the first time, you guys have to take on these characters that people have seen kind of like 2 iterations of before. And now it's its own thing, but you kind of have to live on some of that legacy and kind of like make sure that you meet fans' expectations a lot. But now you have to like go back and meet these characters that have already been in them before. So how do you kind of deal with that, and what comes with that sort of pressure?
Luckily, that's not our job. We just have to come to set and do as we're told.
That's true.
And
Great director.
yeah, we have an amazing director and a wonderful couple of studios that, you know how to do this.
Just a couple.
Just a couple, you know. So we've got a lot of assets and a lot of clever people that are above us, you know, coming up with the creatives and the narratives, and you know, our job is to tell the story that's already been told.
Right.
You know, it's already on the page. But we're lucky that we have each other. We have Jacob, so we have our little team where we can kind of figure out what's going on amongst ourselves, and then the bigger, you know, plot points of the movie, that we're just along for the ride and that sort of stuff.
We
Yeah.
leave it to them.
I'm sorry, kid.
Yeah, me too.
Since the movie's kind of about, like, everyone knows you're Peter Parker now, and
Right.
everyone knows that who Spider-Man is, and you've no anonymity anymore, so to speak. It's kind of like being a celebrity in real life. Like, a lot of people know you guys, and you're probably 2 of the most popular people in the world right now, and everyone's talking about what's going on in your lives. Does that ever get to you, that people are kind of like poking at you all the time, kind of like people poke at Peter and just that you have no anonymity really?
Well, I mean, listen, I'll take this any day over what Peter's got to deal with. You know?
Yes.
He's like, you know, nobody thinks that he, you know, murdered, you know, thinks that we murdered anyone in cold blood.
And blew up the town of London.
Yeah. And like think that he's a villain and like, you know, he's got the responsibility of like literally saving the world, you know. You know, motherfucker, you've been to space or whatever. Bitch, you've been to space. Like, I have not. So, you know, I will definitely take any small life, like Earth problems,
right.
Over what he has to deal with. But I mean, of course, I mean, everything is with duality, right? Everything has a good and a bad. But I feel incredibly lucky to have, you know, the people that we have that support us. I mean, without those people, who show up and buy the tickets and support the films and which are the fans, I mean, then we wouldn't be able to do what we love to do every day. So I think I'm incredibly grateful for all of it, you know, the good, the bad, and I'm lucky that we get to do it together, you know, and go through it together, because, you know, you need that support and people who actually understand what you're going through, which I think kind of also reflects like Ned and MJ and Peter. You know, they're the only ones who really know how it's affecting each other, and they're there for each other, and you need those people, you know, to get through the weirdness of life. You know?
Great answer.
Yeah, great answer.
But yeah, talking about like the good and bad that come with everything, you guys have been doing some amazing work with the Brothers Trust as well, which I'm a huge fan of, because I've tried to do charitable efforts over the years as well, and we have a big one coming up this month too, and it's just cool to see somebody in your position kind of take that on and help people and be so involved in it, because it's easy to kind of just take it on, and then a lot of people do this stuff for kind of PR reasons, and it really feels like you really care about it. So it's been fun to follow that journey.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we do really care about it, and I think one of the reasons why we still have so much heart and passion for it is that the charities we support are charities that don't necessarily have a lot of exposure.
Right.
So what we're doing with the Brothers Trust is shedding light on problems, diseases that people have never heard of, you know, and we have been to, whether it's a school in Africa or a village in Africa or a hospital up north or a lab in Cambridge, we've been to all of these places to see where our money is going, to make sure that every penny spent is going towards the cause. So, you know, we've been more involved than most people when it comes to actually just donating money. So the fact that we almost feel like part of the charities has given us that extra bit of drive to keep going. And, you know, throughout lockdown, we didn't feel comfortable asking people for money because everyone was going through a hard time as it is. So we were doing these events that were just to put a smile on people's faces. It was nothing more than that. So I'm really proud of what the Brothers Trust has done, and you know, I hope it continues to grow, and I hope we can continue to make a difference around the world, even if it's one kid's life. Like the other day, we bought this young kid a chair. What do they call it? Like an electric chair, so he could get around. And, you know, that's one kid out of millions, but to see the smile on his face, like, that's enough, you know? So I love the Brothers Trust. It's the thing I'm most proud of in my career, and, you know, I owe a lot of it to my mum. My mum runs the trust, and she's kind of the boss, and she's incredible. She honestly, it's amazing what she's been doing.
Yeah, spectacular. Well, that's going to do it for me, but it was lovely to see you guys again.
Thank you.
Well done on your CFDA award as well.
Thanks.
And being in Dune, massive fan of the book. It was amazing to see you in person. And good luck with the rest of the press junket and the rest of your tour.
Amazing.
So nice to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Nice to see you. See you next time.
Thanks, guys.